ordering food at a restaurant. I walked down the street, excitement building as I thought about trying a new restaurant everyone had been talking about. The evening air was cool, with a slight breeze that carried the scent of spices and roasted foods from nearby eateries. When I reached the restaurant's front door, the light from inside cast a warm glow across the sidewalk, making the place feel welcoming. I could hear soft jazz music playing in the background, and the gentle hum of conversation added to the cozy ambience. I took a deep breath and stepped inside, greeted by a smiling hostess standing behind a small podium. She looked up from her chart, her smile widening as she noticed me approaching. "Good evening," she said in a cheerful tone. "Do you have a reservation, or would you like a table for one tonight?" "Good evening," I replied, feeling a little formal but happy to be out for a nice dinner. "I'd like a table for one, please." She glanced down at her seating chart and nodded, taking a menu in hand before gesturing for me to follow her to a cozy table by the window. The restaurant was beautifully decorated, with softly lit lamps on each table, rustic wooden furniture, and paintings of various landscapes adorning the walls. The gentle music combined with the warm decor created an inviting atmosphere that made me feel at home immediately. As I settled into my seat, the hostess placed the menu in front of me, offering a warm smile before informing me that a server would be over shortly to take my order. I thanked her, opening the menu to see what the restaurant had to offer. Scanning through the menu, I realized that everything sounded incredibly tempting. Each dish was described in detail, making it even harder to choose. There were a variety of appetizers, main courses, sides, and desserts, all with their unique descriptions that highlighted the ingredients and flavors. After a few moments, my server arrived, a cheerful young woman who introduced herself with a friendly smile. "Hello, my name is and I'll be your server tonight. Have you had a chance to look over the menu?" I smiled back, grateful for her approachable and upbeat demeanor. "Yes, thank you, and I've looked over the menu, but I have to admit, I'm having a bit of trouble deciding. Everything sounds amazing," and laughed, nodding in understanding. "I completely understand. We have so many great options that it's hard to choose. Would you like any recommendations? We have a few dishes that are quite popular and perfect if you're looking for something special." I felt relieved at her suggestion, realizing a recommendation might just help me decide. "Yes, I'd love a recommendation. Do you have a personal favorite?" And thought for a moment, her eyes lighting up as she replied, "If you're in the mood for something flavorful and unique, I'd recommend the seafood risotto. It's creamy, made with a mix of fresh seafood like shrimp and mussels, and has a lovely hint of lemon and herbs. And if you're looking for a lighter start, the roasted beet salad is one of our most popular appetizers. It's vibrant, refreshing, and goes perfectly with the risotto." Her enthusiasm made both options sound even more appealing. I felt my mouth water just thinking about it. That sounds fantastic. I think I'll start with the roasted beet salad and I'll have the seafood risotto as my main course. Anne's smile brightened as she wrote down my order. Great choices. Would you like something to drink with that? We have a nice selection of wines, or if you're interested, we also have a few signature cocktails. I glanced over the drink menu for a moment before deciding. Yes, could I get a glass of the house white wine? Certainly. I'll bring that over shortly, and the salad should be out in just a few minutes. She collected the menu and moved gracefully through the tables as she headed toward the kitchen to place my order. As I waited, I looked around, noticing the varied groups of diners enjoying their meals. A couple sat nearby, laughing as they shared a dessert, while a group of friends clinked glasses, celebrating what seemed to be a special occasion. I felt a sense of contentment watching these little moments unfold, feeling grateful to be part of such a lively yet peaceful atmosphere, and returned shortly with my glass of white wine, placing it gently on the table with a warm smile. Here's your wine. I hope you enjoy it. Your salad will be out shortly. Thank you, I replied, taking a sip. The wine was crisp and refreshing, its light citrusy notes complementing the warm ambience of the restaurant. It was the perfect choice, and I could already imagine how well it would go with my meal. I settled back into my seat, enjoying the leisurely pace of the evening and feeling thankful for a chance to unwind. Soon, and reappeared with the roasted beet salad, setting it down in front of me with a small flourish. Here's your roasted beet salad. Let me know if there's anything else I can get you. The salad looked as delightful as she had described. It was a colorful mix of bright red beets, greens, and creamy goat cheese crumbles, topped with a light vinaigrette. This looks amazing, I said, genuinely impressed, and smiled. I'm glad you think so. I hope you enjoy it. Just let me know if there's anything else you need. As I took my first bite, I was pleasantly surprised by the harmonious blend of flavors. The earthy sweetness of the beets paired perfectly with the tanginess of the goat cheese and the refreshing crunch of the greens. Each bite was a satisfying mix of textures and tastes, making the salad an excellent start to the meal. I savored each mouthful, taking my time to enjoy the flavors and immerse myself in the experience fully. When I finished the salad, I felt both satisfied and eagerly anticipated the main course. As I waited, I glanced out the window, watching the gentle bustle of people passing by. The restaurant had begun to fill up, with more people arriving and settling into their tables, creating a pleasant background hum of chatter and laughter. A few minutes later, and arrived with my seafood risotto. She carefully set the plate down, and the rich aroma of seafood, herbs, and creamy risotto instantly filled the air around me. Here we are, one seafood risotto, she announced proudly. Thank you, and I said, my eyes drawn to the beautifully plated dish. The risotto was topped with perfectly cooked pieces of shrimp, mussels, and small cuts of white fish. The creamy base was garnished with a sprinkle of fresh parsley and a lemon wedge on the side, adding a final touch of color to the presentation. As I took my first bite, I was taken aback by the burst of flavors. The risotto was rich and creamy, yet it had a lightness to it that kept it from feeling overly heavy. Each piece of seafood added its own flavor, creating a balanced and satisfying dish. The hint of lemon complemented the seafood, adding a fresh note to each bite. I took my time, savoring the dish and enjoying the combination of textures, the tender seafood, the creamy risotto, and the occasional crunch from fresh herbs. And checked in on me periodically, ensuring everything was to my liking without being intrusive. Her attentive yet respectful approach made the dining experience all the more enjoyable, allowing me to focus on my meal and the relaxing environment. When I finally finished the risotto, I felt a deep sense of contentment. The meal had been incredibly satisfying, and I found myself reflecting on the entire experience, from the warm welcome to the excellent service and delicious food. As Anne returned to clear my plate, she asked if I'd be interested in dessert. Would you like to see the dessert menu? We have some fantastic options, like our chocolate lava cake or a classic creme brulee. Though I was tempted, I felt pleasantly full and decided to save dessert for another visit. Everything sounds delicious, but I think I'll pass on dessert tonight. I'll definitely have to come back and try it next time. And smiled, nodding understandingly. Of course. I'm so glad you enjoyed your meal. It was a pleasure serving you tonight. After settling the bill, I thanked her one last time and made my way to the door, glancing back at the restaurant. The evening had been everything I'd hoped for, a chance to relax, enjoy wonderful food, and experience the warmth of the restaurant's atmosphere.
Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, and share our channel Magic Mingle with your friends to enjoy more magical stories.